Hey, Sean. Did you already eat the lunch I made for you today? I just wanted to know how it was.
Hey, Allie. Yeah, your lunch was delicious. Allie, thanks for all the effort making my lunch, as well as even though you're always busy working too.
Well, I make lunch for myself anyway, so it's not a problem for me at all. But I was just worried if that amount was always enough for you. I do try to prepare more rice for you than my lunch, but wasn't sure if it was the right amount to make you full.
Yeah, it's just enough for me.
Well, that's good to know, because I've never really cooked any meals for other people besides myself before. So I was worried if it suits your tastes and was enough for you.
Come to think of it, guess you didn't really cook much when we were just going out.
Yeah, I know. I did try to avoid cooking because someone had actually told me before that I was bad at cooking when I was still in my teens, and I've just been afraid to cook for people ever since then.
Oh, really? Well, I think you're doing just fine with cooking.
Well, since I wanted to overcome that, I did actually take cooking lessons after I started working. And I did cook for myself every day, so I should have gotten pretty used to cooking now.
You don't have to worry so much, because everyone is not good at cooking from the beginning, you know?
Yeah, I know, but if someone says things like that to you directly in your face, it is pretty shocking. Though I've been trying hard going through all of that, honestly, I'm still not confident about cooking yet.
Hey, I have a good idea. Why don't you ask my mom to teach you about cooking? And then you can learn her recipes as well.
Oh, really? Your mother's good at cooking?
Yeah, I've eaten other people's dishes and eaten meals at other restaurants, but honestly, I do think my mom's cooking is the best of all.
Really? Is that so? If you say so, I would like to eat your mother's dishes someday.
Well, that's no problem, because you can eat it anytime you want. Do you want to go visit her over the weekends? I'm sure she would be happy to teach you anything about cooking.
Sure, if your mother's available, I'd love to visit her someday. Oh, but shouldn't we invite your mother to our house before that? Since we started living together, we haven't invited either of our parents to our house yet, right? I was just thinking that maybe that should come first.
Well, I understand what you mean, but it's not like we built a new house or anything, so I don't think we have to go all the way to invite them there. Of course. To say that they want to visit us, I don't mind, but actually, I was thinking that it's just about time I wanted to eat my mom's dishes, so you should just come visit her and might as well eat her dishes with me together.
Do you really think your mother's dishes are that delicious compared to mine? And I will be able to become better at cooking them?
No, it's not like I'm saying that your dishes aren't good. It's just that my mom's dishes are probably too good.
Oh, really? Well then, I'll try my best to follow your mother's cooking as much as possible.
Oh, really? That's great, Allie. If you can follow my mom's recipes and make meals like her, then it will definitely improve my quality of life. Because honestly, I do think my mom's cooking is the most delicious in the world. Oh no, can't wait to eat her meals, now that I started thinking about it.
Really? The best in the world? Well, that's certainly pressure for me. Honestly, you've set a high standard for me, but I'll try my best, okay?
But Allie, before that, I think you should know. You see, my mom can basically do anything, so I don't think you should compare yourself to her. She's so perfect at cleaning up our house, doing cooking, and she even has a successful career. She even helped me graduate from university, taking care of me as a single parent. So she just handles everything so well and is such a perfect person.
Wow, that's really amazing. Raising a child as a single parent, doing housework and working so hard, handling everything perfectly all at once by herself.
Yeah, I know. She's just a perfect mom and I really do respect her for that. But honestly, I think you, Allie, have just the same potential as my mom too. Just like my mom, you work hard and have a career. And as for cooking, though you're not at my mom's level yet, I think you're getting pretty close to her.
Do you really think so? Well, after hearing all about her, it does seem like you really like your mother, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's because she was my only parent and we were so close together. I've grown up to now thanks to my mom and I've always appreciated that. And of course, all children love their parents, you know? Hey, Allie, do you not like your parents so much?
Of course, it's not like I hate them and I respect them as well, but I don't think my feelings towards my parents are as strong as yours, Sean.
Well, I guess there aren't many women like my mom anywhere. She's just so amazing, I guess I can't help saying that. Well then, I will go ahead and tell my mom that we'll come visit her next time. And I'll tell her to prepare meals for us to eat.
Okay, thanks. Well then, good luck at work during the afternoon, too.
Thanks. You too, Allie. And just remember, I'm coming home around the same time as usual. So can you prepare dinner for me? Hey, Allie. I've just got to tell you about this. It's about this morning's breakfast, but do you understand the reason why I stopped eating it?
It's because you didn't like it, right?
Well, yeah, but It's just that the soup you made just tasted the worst of all.
Really? Did the soup taste that bad?
It just tasted so disgusting. How can you make such a soup like that?
Well, I did cook the soup from broth, so it should have had some flavor to it.
Well then, why does it taste so bad? Did you mistake the cooking procedures? I know you tasted Mom's soup last month when she made it for us, so I can't understand why it turns out this way when you try cooking it. Remember, you said you will try following her cooking, but this is off to a bad start. What did you actually learn from eating her meals?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just so nervous meeting her, and her dishes were already made when we arrived at your house, so I even asked her how she made it casually, but she said everything is just made roughly and nothing is really special about it. So I really didn't have a chance to ask her about the details of her recipe and procedures of cooking.
But can't you imagine how it tastes and what the ingredients are just by eating it? I suppose you would be able to notice what's missing from your cooking. I do think you have enough cooking experience from the past to be able to recognize that. Hey, wait. Or was it a lie that you said you went to cooking lessons? Because I'm starting to doubt the fact that you actually did now.
No, believe me, I did take cooking lessons before. So I don't think I'm mistaking the basic procedures about cooking because I've learned that from my lessons and past experience. But I just can't understand why everything tastes so different from your mother's cooking. I've tried so many ways, but it all just doesn't seem to work out.
Hey, I really don't want to say these things to you, but I'm going to have to say this for your sake. Allie, I have to admit that your cooking doesn't taste good.
What?
It's not like it's horrible, but it just doesn't taste good. I've been trying not to say this to you, but I think you should work on your cooking more. If it's that quality, I suppose buying already prepared dishes at the supermarket would be much better.
What? Does that mean you've been eating all my meals this time thinking they were not good?
You should at least thank me for being kind, always eating it all up even if it was not good. Since we are newlyweds, I hesitated being honest with you about your cooking, but just the thought that this is going to continue this way, it's getting a little too tough for me to bear with it.
Honestly, is my cooking that bad?
Well, I can at least eat it, but if I compare it with my mom's dishes, then there is definitely a big difference between it. Because I've grown up always eating those delicious dishes that she made for me. So I guess I just do have a higher standard, and it's difficult for me to eat dishes that are lower quality than that. You ate my mom's dishes, and you actually thought they were delicious too, right?
Yeah, they were all delicious, but honestly, that's all I thought, and I guess I didn't think it was the best in the world or beats any other restaurant.
Oh really? That's so. Allie, I'm a bit disappointed. I guess you have no sense of taste. That's probably why you've been told that your cooking is bad. Perhaps you haven't eaten much homemade dishes at home? Or Allie, was your mother bad at cooking too? I guess that's probably why your cooking doesn't improve at all.
Hey, Sean, isn't that an impolite thing to say to me? I've been trying to bear with your rude comments, but it's going past the limits,
Well, I think that you're the one who's impolite. Because remember, you said that my mom's cooking was not good.
Hey, don't get me wrong, because I didn't say that it wasn't good. I just said that it wasn't like it was the best dishes in the world like you said. And I think there are other people who can make good dishes as well.
I don't think you have the right to talk about cooking, you bad cook. I just think that you have a bad tongue.
Hey, I just think you've been saying too many rude things to me lately. My cooking might not be the perfect taste like your mother's dishes that you demand, but I want you to understand that I'm trying my best to get closer to that as much as possible.
But if you continue to cook that way, it's just going to produce garbage.
Excuse me? You're saying that my cooking is just garbage? I can't believe this. How can you say such a horrible thing?
Well, if you compare it to my mom's dishes, then I guess I'll have to say it is. And remember, that you were the one who said that you wanted to be able to follow her recipe, so I want you to keep your promises that you made. You know I wouldn't have said such a thing if I knew your cooking was going to improve.
Well, I'll try my best to do so, but then you have to promise me to do this for me as well.
Huh? Promise to do what?
Even though we're both working, I'm the only one who's doing all the chores in the household. And you basically have done nothing or even tried to help me out. So I'm asking you, can you at least help clean the house? I think you should start taking responsibility for some of the chores around the house too. Because it's just tough for me to do everything for you in our house because I'm also working.
What? Why do I have to clean up the house? Because my mom was capable of doing that all by herself even if she was working. So I just don't see why you can't do that all by yourself.
Huh? Were you not thinking of sharing those responsibilities between us even after we got married? You just thought that I will do all of them for you? Remember, I'm not your mother, Sean.
Of course I know that. But if it were my mom, she would have done the household chores more perfectly though.
Hey, Sean, after listening to all your comments about your mother, I'm starting to think that you may be a mama's boy.
What? No! You're trying to insult me because you just can't do things properly.
Because you've just been comparing me with your mother all the time, and I'm getting sick of that.
So you are just jealous of my mom, aren't you? Hey, you shouldn't blame things on people just because you can't do it. Allie, I'm really disappointed to know that you actually were that kind of person. I do feel like I was fooled by you now. If I were going to be insulted by you like this, I guess I shouldn't have gotten married with you in the first place.
Huh? You should know that I have even more things to say about this to you.
Anyway, can you please make something decent for tonight's dinner? A wife has to support her husband's health by what he eats, you know?
If you have so many complaints about my cooking, why don't you try cooking for yourself?
Excuse me? Did you just give up what you said about being a better cook? They're all just words, you know?
All right, fine.
What kind of behavior is that? I'm trying to be honest saying these things to you for your sake.
Anyway, I'm working right now, so I'm just not in the mood to listen to this. Can we just continue this conversation tonight when we get home? Hello, Maggie. Is it all right to talk to you now? Oh, hello, Allie. Sure, it's okay to talk to you now, since I'm just having my lunch break. But what did you want to talk about? Is something wrong? I'm sorry to contact you while you're at work, but I just wanted to ask you about cooking. Ask me about cooking? Well, I'm not sure if I can be any help to you about that. Maggie, can you please teach me how to cook your soup? Like the ingredients and the cooking procedures to make it. Since I visited your house the other day and had your soup you served me, I've been trying to make your soup for Sean by different ways, but he just says that it doesn't taste the same as yours and doesn't eat it at all. Really? Are you saying that my son is complaining about your cooking? Well, that's a horrible thing for him to do because he should be thankful for having you make meals for him. Well, they're not complaints, but he continues to say that he likes your soup better than mine. I see. Well, I guess that's just easy to make. Because all you have to do is pour hot water in it. It's just that simple. What? It's just hot water? Are you saying that it was just instant food? Yes, that's absolutely right. You didn't notice that it was? No, I actually didn't at all. Wow, I'm so surprised to know that. Can you please tell me which brand it is and where you bought it? Basically, I'm not very particular with my choices, but I do use food from private brands of supermarkets a lot. It's something you eat every day, and, just eating soup is good for your health, right? So I'm just using the cheapest one sold at the supermarket. Oh, really? Perhaps you were expecting a perfect answer like I was making the soup from broth, didn't you? And like I'm going through taking time and effort for each cooking procedure? I'm so sorry that I didn't meet your expectations and don't have any good tips for cooking. No, it's not like I was expecting that, but since Sean was saying that you were really good at cooking, I just thought there must be so many complicated cooking procedures to make those delicious dishes. Wait, Sean said that I'm a good cook? Oh, you've got to be kidding. That's such a surprise. But all the dishes you made for me last time I visited were really delicious. Didn't you notice that all the food that I served are basically prepared food from the supermarket? Oh, but when you came to visit me, I did buy those dishes at the department store because it was such a special occasion. So they may have tasted better than what I usually buy. Honestly, what I actually made was just only the salad. You see, Allie, I have always been bad at cooking. Because I was a single parent and just didn't have any time to cook. I'm so sorry. Sean must have been misunderstanding the situation all throughout his life, and I'm just so surprised to realize that now. Well, it does seem like that. If it's okay with you, can I go ahead and tell Sean that you've been buying prepared food from the supermarket? Of course that's fine with me. I've just always thought that he knew all about this, because he should have been the one to notice that I was busy all the time since we were so close. Unfortunately, he does still think that everything served at home was homemade dishes by you. So that's why he said that my cooking wasn't good. What? He said the dishes you made were not good? Yes, that's true. He even actually said it was just garbage. What? Garbage? Is that what he actually said? Oh, my dear Allie, I'm just so disappointed that he would say such horrible things to you. I'm so sorry about that. I guess if I had taught him how to do the household chores properly from way before when we were living together, this wouldn't have happened, probably. Since I kept doing everything for him, I guess he just didn't understand what you're going through now. I feel so bad about this. Oh, this is all my fault. No, not at all. Maggie, please don't apologize because this is not your fault. I just started cooking after I started working, so I don't have that much cooking experience to make quality dishes for him. And I guess Sean was just misunderstanding the whole situation about cooking. So I guess this is a situation we must solve between ourselves. But as he's been saying so many horrible things to me ever since we got married, honestly, I'm having a hard time putting up with it and starting to have difficulties trusting him now. Oh no, Sean's been acting like that lately after you got married? I'm so sorry that my son is just so thoughtless. Of course you can tell him all about this and just tell him straight how you've been thinking. Yes, now I think I can do so. Thank you for understanding, Maggie. I'll tell Sean everything about how I've been feeling. I'm so glad I was able to talk to you.
Hey, Allie? Please come back.
I can't believe this. I've only gone out for a week, but you're already whining about this? That is so miserable.
I'm so sorry, Allie. Please, let me apologize. I was wrong about all of this. I want you to understand that I just didn't know that handling all the household chores was this difficult.
Well, it's about time you noticed. I've always been the one doing the cooking, cleaning up, and the laundry while I was working all by myself. But even so, you just kept insulting me, saying that my cooking was so bad. And even said that it was garbage. When you should have been thankful of even being served meals cooked by me.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't imagine that my mom's soup was just instant food.
And not just her soup, but even her main dishes were prepared food from the supermarket. And you've been thinking that her meals were the best in the world all this time? What do you have to say about that?
I know. I feel so embarrassed about that. I've been doing all the chores by myself now. I finally realized how tough this was and what you were actually going through. I was definitely wrong about this and said really terrible things to you.
Well, good then. But remember, I'm never forgiving you for saying those things, like, I have a bad tongue or my mom is a bad cook.
I know. My mom even scolded me about that. I was relying on you too much. So I'm regretting what I said to you from the bottom of my heart.
Are you regretting this because your mother told you to do so?
No, of course not. I do really think that I was wrong, but I do think it is my mom's fault for being so perfect. Though she had taken care of me as a single parent, I've never gone through any tough experiences and I never had any financial troubles either thanks to her continuous efforts. I really appreciate her for what she has done for me up until now.
So what? Don't you understand that has nothing to do with me, right? And it's not just the insults you said about my cooking that I can't forgive you about. It was so stressful that you always compared everything I do with your mother.
What? I do think I only compared you with her cooking and nothing else.
I can't believe this. You're saying that you don't remember any of this? Whatever I do, you've always been comparing me with your mother in our daily lives. Like how I fold the laundry is different from your mother, and saying that the cleanup procedures are different from hers. And that she always finished up the household chores before going to work. Whatever I say, you said that your mother would understand. You just had a habit of saying that, comparing everything to your mother's way. I'm just fed up with listening to all of that any further.
Well, you've got to believe me that I didn't intend to hurt you by doing that. But you know that I've been with her for a long time when I was living with my mom, so since she was always there close to me, I guess I just can't help that.
Well, I can't just tolerate with your excuse saying that you can't help it, and I've already had enough of this. Honestly, I'm not confident enough now that I can continue this marriage with you anymore.
What? Does that mean you're actually going to divorce me?
Yeah, that's right. I'm actually thinking about a divorce. I've been thinking about many things all during this week, but comparing everything with your mother has been so annoying since we got married. And you also said that my cooking was bad, and there were times when you didn't eat what I made at all, right? I couldn't forgive you for that either.
I promise I will eat everything you cook from now on. And I don't mind if you serve instant food either.
I just realized that it was so meaningless to put so much effort into cooking meals for you, Sean. I should have bought prepared foods at the supermarket in the first place like your mother always did, because prepared foods sold are quite delicious these days.
I think that is a little, because I actually don't like prepared food much.
But remember, you're the one who actually said that it's the best food in the world up until now. So I think that should be enough for you, and preparing homemade dishes is just meaningless.
No, come to think of it now, I think your meals were actually pretty good.
Well, that's too late to mention after going through all of this. Because I was particular about selecting high-quality ingredients and seasonings for the meals I cook for you. And was putting a lot of effort into cooking so that you would say it's delicious. But that was all meaningless because you just thought my cooking was like garbage. Can you actually imagine how I felt being told that? I just really felt useless every day.
Hey, Allie, just listen. I need you to calm down and think this through more carefully. Don't divorce me by such a stupid reason. Because it's not like I did something crucial like having an affair with someone. I don't see why you're bringing up a divorce just against this.
What? Did you say this is stupid? Well, I just can't accept the fact that you can say that this is all stupid. Like having an affair with someone or being hit by violence. Even if it's not a crucial reason like this, I just couldn't take this any longer and still even thought that I wanted to divorce you. To make you understand, I was hurt just as bad as if you had actually had an affair with someone.
Allie, I am so sorry. I'm really serious about this. Please let me apologize to you. I will even get down on my knees to apologize and do anything you say. So please don't divorce me. I definitely can't tell Mom about this, because I know she'll be shocked if she hears that I had to divorce you.
Oh, there you go again. It's always about your mother, isn't it? If your mother is just so important to you, why don't you just give up on marriage and continue to stay with her? Actually, I do recall that you didn't even mention about your mother before we got married. I suppose you were trying not to mention about that and hide that from me because you didn't want me to know that you were a mama's boy, didn't you? Now I guess I'm actually the one who thinks I was fooled by you. And as you said to me before, if I knew this was happening, I shouldn't have married you in the first place. After that, thanks to my mother-in-law who helped persuade my husband, who was reluctant to get the divorce, we finally got divorced. As my mother-in-law realized that my husband was a mama's boy to some extent, she made a promise not to see my husband until he was able to do the basic household chores on his own. But as a result, my husband got so depressed that he couldn't see his mother and just stayed home in bed from the impact of the divorce and missing his mother. He was even absent from work for a while without reporting to his company and eventually had to quit his job too. As he still didn't do any of the chores during that period as well, his house became so dirty that my husband himself started to smell so horribly. My mother-in-law was in despair when I met her, being so shocked to have created such a monster who couldn't do anything by himself. However, as she thought that it was going to cause further trouble to the neighborhood if she continues to leave him in a situation like that, it seems that she's going to have her big brother take care of my husband for a while. It seems that my mother-in-law was also thinking of training my husband strictly to be able to do things on his own, but she just knew that being with her wouldn't be a punishment for my husband and wouldn't do him any good. And as it seems that her brother is a strict person, she was relieved that he accepted to take care of him since my husband will be properly trained by him. Even though he's my ex-husband that I divorced, I do still think that he's a really troublesome person from the bottom of my heart. Though I've cut off my relationship with him, I still do have coffee with my mother-in-law sometimes as we've become good friends. Because I do respect her for what she's done for my ex-husband as a mother and with her successful working career. We're getting along with each other as she teaches me a lot of valuable things to learn as a senior of life to look up to. As I do understand that this is a really strange situation for us, but I enjoy being with her so much that it does make me think that I may have gotten married to my husband just to meet my mother-in-law. Although I had to go through many tough times for this, I guess meeting my mother-in-law was one thing I need to appreciate about this marriage and divorce. And I'm really thankful for my mother-in-law for always being so considerate and supportive, continuing this relationship with me after thinking about what she's gone through with her son, too. As it might take a while for me to completely recover from this divorce, as my hurt feelings still haven't been healed, and I can't think of having a new relationship with someone yet, but I will try to keep doing what I can now, gradually, step by step, so I can eventually move forward with a positive mind, hoping I can enjoy my new life waiting ahead of me. Thank you for watching Peep Talk videos. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Also, feel free to leave any comments. Please visit us again to check out the next video.